Hi, my name is Kristen, and welcome to my channel where we explore an experiential understanding of manifestation, or as I like to call it, the law of reflection. Now, one of the most common misconceptions in manifestation theory is the idea that the law is one of cause and effect, that you are somehow causing the reality that appears outside of you. And most manifestation teachings do understand that the world is a mirror that is reflecting back your identifications of self. But what they often don't pick up on is that a reflection is not the same as a cause. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video to help you understand this is because when you understand that a reflection and a cause are two completely different things, not only does it change the way that you understand manifestation, it changes the way that you approach it as well. One example that I like to use is that when you look in a mirror, you are not causing your face. The reflection of your face in the mirror is not a separate reality that is outside of yourself that you are causing to be there. The reflection is just showing you what is already there, what was there before. If there were no mirrors, you would not know what your face looked like. You would have no access to your own face. And the divine mirror is working in the exact same way as this. So when we say that reality is a mirror, this is not poetry. We're not speaking metaphorically here. It's exactly the same. It's not like a mirror, it is a mirror. So when you look in the divine mirror and you observe reality, the self you are embodying at any given time is being reflected back to you. So the reflection in the mirror is not a separate reality outside of yourself that you are somehow causing or manifesting. The reflection is showing you what is already there. It's showing you what is already within you. It's showing you what you are identified with on the level of self. It is showing you what you are embodying as the dream character, right? If there was no divine mirror, you would not be able to see who you are being or who you believe yourself to be. But a reflection is not the same as a cause. And when you understand that, it completely changes the way that you approach manifestation. And although manifestation, it does have the appearance of being the law of cause and effect, it does appear that you are manifesting things on the so-called outside, but this is not quite what's happening. So let me explain why. Firstly, everything is consciousness or God. Now, for the rest of this video, I am going to continue to refer to it as consciousness, but I want you to remember that when I say consciousness, I am saying it with the capital C, not the localized consciousness or the consciousness that appears to be individualized, i.e., the consciousness of the self. I'm talking about God, source consciousness, the divine. And feel free to use whatever word you want. I often like to use God because it's quicker and it's closer to the point, but I know that not everybody likes that word. And I'm also not talking about the God of Christianity when I say that. So, anyway, there is only one consciousness, there is only one mind, and that is God. There is nothing outside of consciousness or God because consciousness is all things. Consciousness is not causing the reality, it is the manifested reality. And there is a difference between those two things. A flower is not causing itself to be a flower, it is a flower. So when consciousness manifests as something, it becomes it. The entire world that you perceive is all a manifestation in consciousness in many different forms. Now, the way I'm about to describe this, it's slightly inaccurate because it almost personifies consciousness or God in a way. But when consciousness manifests as something, it does so instantly because pure consciousness, it's not being filtered through an egoic self. There's no stories of self, no limitations, no belief in time, or anything else that is going to delay the process, which is why manifestation from pure consciousness is instant, just like that. So when consciousness or God manifests, it does so instantly because it becomes it. Another reason that consciousness is not causing the reality is because this would actually indicate that there is separation, which, as we know, there is not. In order for a cause and effect relationship to take place, something must be doing the causing and something must be affected by it. The reason there is an appearance of cause and effect in the 3D world is because we perceive things through the lens of separation. We perceive as a separate self. And this happens even in the most subtle of ways. We view other people as separate. We view experiences as separate or outside of ourselves. We even view a cup of coffee as separate. So even labeling something as a cup of coffee is the smallest degree of separation. And the reason for that is because in order to label something as anything, we have to subtly see it as something other than ourselves. So for example, I am Kristen, and that is a cup of coffee. I, as Kristen, am over here, and that cup of coffee is over there. I, as Kristen, am picking up that cup of coffee. So therefore, I am doing something to it. Do you see how this illusion of separation, it is basically the undercurrent of how we perceive pretty much everything in our reality, but it is really only a perception of separation. It is not really separation. And because this is how we tend to see the world, this is also how we understand manifestation. And that's why we mistake it to be the law of cause and effect, because we're understanding it through the lens of the separate self that believes that everything is separate. So when we understand manifestation as if it is the law of cause and effect, it's going to sound something like this. I, as Kristen, am causing my reality. I am manifesting things or making things happen. My thoughts create my reality. That's another misconception. The techniques I'm doing or using are actually manifesting or causing things to happen in my world. If I feel fear or anxiety, that will cause something bad to manifest. Because I'm causing my reality, I need to do something in order to make my desires happen. If I'm not actively trying to manifest my desire, it won't manifest. So can you see how that one perception of the law, as if it's a law of cause and effect, shapes the entire discourse on manifestation? Can you see how this causes us to believe that we need to do something to make things manifest because we believe that we are the ones causing reality? You are not causing, creating, or manifesting anything. Not you on the level of the egoic self, and not even you on the level as God, because God is all things. It's not creating anything. Creation is a poetic way of understanding it, but really, God just is. It is all things. So you're not manifesting your desire, you are your desire. To manifest a desire, you have to just realize that you are it already. And this dissolves the illusion of separation in your perception. You be it, you become it, and the mirror reflects this back to you. The mirror has no choice because this is how mirrors work. They always reflect what is stood in front of it. So you be the one that is in full health. You be the one that is in the loving, harmonious relationship. You be the one that is experiencing abundance, and the mirror reflects it back to you. It reflects your beingness back to you. This is what we mean when we say the state of your being is being reflected back. The state of your being is not your emotional state, it's what you are in alignment with. It's the identifications of self that are being occupied. Everything is a state. And the reason that this is being reflected back to you is so that you can be aware of it. And this will look like a cause and effect relationship the way that we perceive it in the 3D. It looks like you did something and it caused something to manifest, but really that's not what's really going on a deeper level. So even shifting your self-concept or being a new version of self or a bigger, better version, a more empowered version, it's not a process of doing. When you shift self-concept, what is actually happening is you're going from one identity to another. You cannot be both at once. You either occupy this one or you occupy that one. You're either the old self or the new self. There's nothing extensive that you need to do in order to occupy this new version of self. It doesn't need to be a hero's journey. It's as simple as releasing the old identification and aligning with the new one, and then continuing to align with this new one over and over even when you feel pulled out of it. So, when we refer to manifestation, we're not talking about a law of cause and effect. And this is why I prefer to use the term the law of reflection instead of the law of assumption or the law of attraction. And this is not because I'm inventing a new law or anything like that, but because I feel that the word reflection better directs your awareness to what is really going on when it comes to manifestation, so that you know that there's nothing you need to do in order to manifest what it is you want. You simply become it. And I will make another video on that topic. But this video is just to tell you that a reflection is not the same as a cause. And when you understand the world as a reflection, it changes the way you approach manifestation, because you know there's nothing you need to do, there's no techniques that are going to get you your manifestation. Your thoughts are not manifesting. Manifestation is about being. So you become the desire, you become one with it by realizing that you are one with it already, as there is no separation. And once this illusion of separation dissolves within your own perception, the desire manifests, and that is how manifestation works.